Stuart Minchin. I'm the Director General of SPC. The Pacific region is no stranger to disasters and to challenges, and recently, we've had cyclones, we've had epidemics in Samoa, and we as a region have learnt to cope with that through cooperating closely and to working together. So we've learnt lessons. We've got really good regional mechanisms in place to help countries to deal with these issues, and more importantly, to recover from these issues as they occur. SPC is working closely with the World Health Organization in the region, supporting countries with the challenges that we're currently facing. SPC is a coordination mechanism and a convening mechanism to allow countries to work together across political boundaries. And as we know, with a health crisis like this, with an invisible enemy, if you like, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we do have to work together as a region to make sure that we tackle this crisis together. Obviously, we've had to adjust to the COVID-19 restrictions. We have sent our 650 staff to work from home, and we're having to learn different ways of working and making things work. We still have a work program to get on with, of course, and we've had to think very innovatively about how to actually bring forward pieces of work that might have been scheduled later in the program, to do them now while we are confined, and then allow, once restrictions ease, allow the in-person work and the work that requires travel to occur later in the program than we originally thought. We're certainly not idle at the moment. We're actually very busy dealing with adjusting our work program to meet the challenge of a different way of working. A good example of how we're dealing with this change is in our strategy, performance and learning area, which is helping us with our strategic planning context. We were originally planning to have large meetings of staff and members to actually input to our strategic planning process. That's now no longer possible, so we're doing that, and we've changed that into a webinar process where we're holding a webinar and then having an interactive discussion with staff in a remote sense. So that's changing, still coming up with the outcome, but it's changing the way that we're actually interacting, and we're getting very good feedback about that as well. In the ECAP area, the education division, we've actually got feedback from members already that the virtual interaction is much better than they expected and much more effective. So we're learning new ways of operating, and we're adjusting as we go along. It's really important to recognise that the crisis is not going to be over quickly. The health emergency may pass once there is a vaccine in place, but it's likely that there'll be an economic impact for a very long period of time, an impact on local economies in the region through reduced tourism and other issues over quite an extensive period. So it's really important that we help the countries and territories in the region to tackle that and to be planning for that. So it's not going to reduce the importance of anything that SPC does. In fact, the importance of the work that we do is going to be heightened because these countries are going to have to deal with these impacts of food security, the continuing impacts of climate change, the importance of water, sanitation into the future, needing to educate, to provide livelihoods, and there are going to be risks around social and human rights issues as well. So we really need to be focused on how we help countries come out of the other end of this crisis. Wash your hands, practice social distancing. These are practical things that we can all do to help slow this crisis. It's having an impact already in slowing the progress of this crisis. Pacific countries have done a wonderful job in acting quickly and decisively to actually to protect us in this environment, but it's in every one of our hands to actually make a difference through how we act and interact every day.